I'm joined by Athletic Trainer Michael Neal today. Michael, thanks for taking the time to sit down. The new training room with all the adjustments and changes have been made looks really good, so I'm excited for you. I want to get into not only your job, but some of the things that you have to go through as an athletic trainer, such things as far as you see a lot of different injuries. Is there a specific one that comes to your mind that is the most difficult injury that not only you have to deal with, but the athletes have to deal with too?
I think anytime you have a major ligament in the knee, like an ACL for example, and they have to go through that surgery process, it's pretty hard to come back from that, just with all the different adaptations that happen after surgery. Yeah.
You just got back from an athletic trainer conference, and you mentioned to me that there's a new way that you planning on dealing with concussions, because I know concussions are really big, not only for you and your world, but around the world and now in sports. What are some of those changes that you plan on making?
Yeah, so we're going to be a little more aggressive in the way we kind of manage our concussions. So instead of just being full rest, we'll give them some time to rest, but then we're going to take a more active role and really try to rehabilitate the injury instead of just waiting for it to recover.
How difficult is it for you when an athlete that you think has a concussion to pull them off the playing field or the court during the game? Because obviously you care about them winning a lot as well, but having to pull them off, does that draw problems with you, obviously, with the athletes?
Yeah, I mean, I try to stay impartial a little bit, stay out of the emotion of the game a little bit, just to know that, I'm the one responsible for these athletes, and I need to be there to think long term for their health. So yes, it is hard. I mean, I am a little bit invested in the game. I want them to be able to play and do the sport they love, compete. But at the end of the day, their health is the number one priority. So,
how has the new addition of your training room and the expansion, and also having a full year now with the new weight room, changed the way that you help athletes not only train but also recover?
Yeah, I think we're starting to get to a point where it's very functional. The athletic training room, having just some space to have people doing other things while I'm working with one specific athlete, because obviously I can't work on everyone at the same time. So just having that space for them to be able to do different exercises or modalities while I'm working one-on-one with someone is been key. And with the weight room, I mean, having people utilize that to really incorporate that into not only just their strengthening program, but their rehabilitation has been huge too.
How much you deal with a lot of rehab, obviously. How much of rehab is physical for them, obviously, because they have to do a lot of physical rehabilitation, but how much of it is also mental?
Yeah, I mean, there is a big mental component to it, especially when you start getting someone into, after a serious injury, getting them back into where they're transitioning onto the playing field. Sometimes that mental block of just, whether it's a fear or anxiety of re-injuring the area, or they just don't trust the injured area yet, getting them into that and just kind of working with them to, help them understand that it's okay to trust the limb again. If you're feeling that it's not 100%, we can, add different exercises. As long as they're communicating with me and I'm communicating with them what they're feeling and what I'm seeing, it's just a step-by-step progression.
A lot of your job is not only treating the athletes, but you also are constantly doing research on new techniques to help better the athletes in the future. Is there anything new that you've recently learned that you plan on using this upcoming year, or maybe a couple years down the road?
In the last year or so, I've been diving a lot into nutrition and how that is impacting, not just the athletes and their energy levels, but also their recovery. So I plan to take a more active role on that this year, just kind of being more involved. Being a student athlete, it's very hard to get access to good nutrition at the college level. So whether that's a money issue or just a access issue, I hope to be able to interject there, maybe recommend different supplements, or just kind of help them decide what they can do to eat better.
Help me understand cupping, because I know you do a lot of cupping, and tell me why you do it and how it helps.
Sure. We do it when there's a definite restriction, not only in the muscle tissue, but the connective tissue. And the connective tissue is surrounding all the different muscles, and it can really bind down after a heavy training session or an injury. And if the fascia or the connective tissue is bound down, the athlete won't be able to move properly, and they're going to see some function loss there. So cupping's really good because it actually lifts the tissue. So instead of massage and everything is pressing down, we're actually lifting off, and we can stretch with that and create this shearing effect that is seen some amazing results and some instant release of tension with that.
Athletic Trainer Michael Neal, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you coming on the show, Mike. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we got to go to